this is not gonna happen to me. I'm never gonna get attacked or have a breach, but that's exactly what the attackers now are using.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Tech Break, where we take a break to talk about, you guessed it, tech. This is your host, Alexander Pontikis. I'm the go-to-market lead for Microsoft at Tech Data. Soon, ladies and gentlemen, soon we will be changing name to TD SYNNEX on October 17th. That's less than a month away. Today's topic, we'll be focusing on Microsoft 365 security, or modern workplace security, which is a Microsoft term that I think many of you are familiar with. And it's our first episode targeted to all our great partners around the Nordics. Hence, we're doing this in English instead of Swedish. We're recording this gloomy, grayish Tuesday here in Stockholm City. The autumn is closing in. The rain might be coming, but here in the studio, the sun is shining because together as a guest today we have Rickard with us. Territory channel manager, sorry about that, at Microsoft. How's it going, Rickard?
All good. Thank you, Alex. Great to be here. Thanks for having me. Territory channel manager, that's correct.
Yeah, I mean, territory, that's a very big word. I have the word strategic in my title. So we're two guys here sitting having very big words in our title.
Yes. So I actually work in the partner organization for Microsoft. So I work with partners, and how to start the security conversation would be like one of my main topics, and that's why I'm here today to discuss that with you.
That's great, Rickard. So tell me, what's a typical day for you at Microsoft? What do you fill your days with most of the time?
Well, as I mentioned, a big part of my work is to skill partners in security. So I work with partners that maybe not there at the security, how to start a conversation with a customer, for example. Where do you start? What is security? And so I would say that's a big part of my job.
Right. So I think I read somewhere, or I think it was one of your earlier webinars, that a lot of the partners see security as a real trajectory for expanding their business and as a trajectory for growth.
Yes.
For upsell. I think it was around, I can't recollect the exact data set, but it was 85%. Around 85%. Thank you, Rickard. As I said, nice to have you here again for SMB. So that's a big opportunity, would you say?
Definitely, it's an opportunity both to secure all the customers, because what we're going to discuss a little bit about all the threats that's out there and how to protect the customers. So I would say it's a very big both what do you call it, mission, I would say, for partners to help their customers to get more secure, but also of course an opportunity for the partners to skill in security, because we have a big lack of partners that are skilled in security.
That's great. And also the kind of threat, let's move into that a little bit. We could also see that this was also numbers from you guys, and we see that like a third of the cyber attacks are targeted at small businesses in particular. Yes. I think around, if I remember correctly, 61% of small businesses that experienced a recent cyber attack, they weren't able to operate on those. The average cost of a data breach is around $108,000. Yeah. So if we look at, let's say, small and medium-sized businesses, let's say from the range between 25 to 300 employees, give or take, would you say that they are more targeted to these sorts of attacks, like increasingly so, like phishing, ransomware?
Yes. Definitely, because usually SMB, small and medium businesses, are not as well protected as the bigger enterprise companies.
Right.
So because many of those companies and organizations are thinking that this is not going to happen to me. I'm never going to get attacked or have a breach but that's exactly what the attackers now are using. So we see an increase of ransomware and, as you said, increase of attacks. I think that if we talk more numbers, 1 out of 4 SMB customers say that they had an attack last year, and we also see that ransomware has increased with 300% last year.
Wow, that's a staggering number.
Yeah, it's hard to
hard to fathom. Yeah.
But I think it's like 50% of those ransomware attacks are focused on SMB customers. So it's definitely something that needs to be what they call it, like how we can protect those customers.
Absolutely. So to create this sense of urgency at the end customers, would you say that the end customer have to have a recent attack? Do they have to be newly attacked to like create the sense of urgency, or do you see proactive kind of approach to we need to bring in some security measures?
We need to be proactive, definitely. And there's great tools to be proactive also. We have released Defender for Business that is advanced protection for SMB customers. So it's
the targeting.
Exactly. So it's targeting
these SMBs
these
with that product.
SMBs customers and help them to be protected.
And you know, there's also the let's say the hybrid work, the remote work kind of motion, which we see. I think again, moving on to the data side of things, that you've experienced in your studies, that you see that 70% of the small medium-sized businesses in the United States, they want 70% of the employees, they want flexible work options.
Yeah.
At the same time, we're seeing, you know, a 238% increase in cyber attacks globally.
Yeah.
And as we said earlier, 60% of the SMBs lack skills in-house to deal with it. So where do you see is the biggest flaw? Like, where is the easiest entry for you know, okay, here's a loophole. We were talking about loopholes earlier when we were talking about, you know, shadow IT out there, and you know.
I mean, you can say that hybrid work is here to stay. And that because of that, we need to think a little bit different about security. I mean, if you think about how we worked before, we sat at the office, we were secured by a firewall, we were working on our company's devices, and they were protected, and you were secure there. But if you think about hybrid work, we want to be able to work from home. We want to be able to access company information from our phones, both private and company devices. So we have to think about security in another way. We can't just be secure behind that firewall. We have to be we have to have secure devices and how we access that data. So I would say that I usually talk about zero trust. Do you know about zero trust?
Please enlighten us.
So zero trust is a security framework, how to think about security. And how to secure our devices, how to secure our network and identities, and how to think about that. So, and of course, Microsoft 365 is built on zero trust framework. So, but what I would like to say with that is that I'm not going to go deep technical on it, but just to think that you have, let me see, it's assume breach, verify explicitly, and least privilege. So like if you think about that, if you if you think assume breach, that you, as we talked about, being proactive about security, we need to think that it's not if we're going to be attacked, it's when. So if we have that state of mind that always work with security as there will be a breach, that's one part. And then if you think about to verify, is that just because a user has logged in with their credentials, it doesn't mean that we're going to trust them to access our data, for instance. So these different silos, like identity and network, and that we need to secure it in every silo.
Absolutely.
Do you understand what I'm talking?
Absolutely.
Okay,
so this umbrella approach, I would say, that's one of the major drivers of your success with this one, as opposed to, let's say, getting out of the old antivirus protection kind of discussion, having a more holistic approach on it. And just as a side note to you viewers watching this, so after this we'll be recording another session around, we'll be talking about the security issue but move up to the cloud. So see this as a part of a mini series around security, where of course Defender, we could talk a little bit about that. Let's clear out some confusion around the term Defender. Should we move into the products? I mean, we know that most of our, let's say, old Windows user out there might be familiar with, Windows Defender, which still exists, right?
Yes, I mean we have Defender antivirus.
Right. But here we have like Microsoft Defender as like an umbrella term for for security for modern workplace and Azure. However, could we just clear out which one is which and what's included and how do you buy it and
how much time do we have? But as you said, it's an like umbrella, and you think about Defender as the protection from Microsoft. And as I wanted to talk about today is the actual Defender for Business, which is new for this year, and that is to protect the SMB customers. So that would be it's actually called an enterprise grade protection, which means that the same protection that these bigger companies have used to protect their environment, we now can offer that to SMB customers too. So it's that enterprise grade, that high level of protection now offered to SMB customers too. And it's a great tool to work proactively, because you will get visibility of what kind of vulnerabilities you have in your environment. So for instance, Defender for Business is for your devices, and you will get those signals aggregated into the Defender portal. And one thing also that's very important for partners is that now you can use Microsoft 365 Lighthouse as an portal as a partner, where you can get all your Defender for Business incidents from your customers into the Microsoft 365 Lighthouse portal. And that's also new for this year. So something I would like to highlight.
Absolutely. So you can access that directly from your admin center, or would that be like a separate?
Yes, you add it to your admin center. It's called Microsoft 365 Lighthouse, and then of course you need to have the DAP, delegated administrator privileged, which we now have changed to GDAP. So it's granular
the data access something privileges. I
know.
You're famous for your abbreviations.
I know.
That goes without saying. It's Microsoft working
delegated
anywhere.
administrative privileges.
Do you get like a Microsoft dictionary when you start?
We have a glossary. Definitely.
You have a glossary. Okay,
you need to have that with all the. It's great
a big
to have.
book. Which kind of thumps down on your desk like that.
When you start. Exactly. So what I want to say with that is that from now you can use the granular one, which is more secure. So if you have customers today that you're using the DAP, you should migrate to the GDAP. So that's it's much better security in that one.
Right. And for you viewers out there who wants more best practices, let's say guidance around migration over to GDAP, or whatever kind of strategic input you might want, Tech Data can offer, together with Microsoft, all the knowledge you need, and also enhance the partner readiness together with Microsoft for you to take the next step into your security offerings. Could also be for end customer, let's say end customer meetings, and customer issues, whatever. So as we are really happy, on a side note, with the really good strategic partnership that we have with you guys, and much appreciated.
Definitely. I can add to the GDAP there.
Go ahead.
There is actually a tool that you can use to migrate your customers for partners to use together with Tech Data.
That's great.
Yeah.
So moving on with the products in itself. Okay, so we have Lighthouse in there as a part of the solution, like from a single pane of glass, you can get an overview about type of threats, vulnerabilities, alarms, and so is that included also in the offering?
Yes. So what you need is that your customer has a Microsoft 365 Business Premium license or a Microsoft 365 E3 Enterprise 3 license. But then you're good to go. And there's some other requirements. I don't know if it's possible to link, but maybe we can do that. That you need to be an CSP for the customer and I'm not going to deep dive in all the requirements.
That's. I mean, please. I mean, so I'm really being kind of tenacious around this. So, but it's also available as, let's say, a standalone product, as well as a part of Microsoft 365 Business Premium and Microsoft 365 E3 plans, right?
So Defender for. Are you talking about Defender for Business?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Just to be clear. So Defender for Business is included in Business Premium license. But it's also, as you said, a standalone SKU, a standalone license. So you can use it for, if the user don't have a Business Premium license, you can use it as a standalone. Yes.
So that's also like a cost-effective solution.
Yes.
For small businesses. So going back to the partners, we say that they have around. We also had numbers saying like 90% of the SMBs would considering hiring a new Microsoft solution partner if they offer the right cybersecurity solution. So it seems like a big deal.
Yes.
So it's kind of a make it or break it for partners that they really need to get serious about their security offerings, maybe moving up to that space as end customers are kind of, demanding it, or, it's starting to be a high relevance issue. So you're going to help me out here with, so we launched this product early this year, right?
Yes. Went to GA, let me see, in spring.
Yeah. In that general GA means general.
Sorry,
No, that's fine. The abbreviations once more.
General availability.
All right. Yeah.
So it's accessible for
from beta to general availability. What can we say? Being, let's say 9 months, almost 10 months in, is it a kind of a success?
Yes, I would say so. As I mentioned, this is has earlier been an enterprise product, but now we can offer this also to smaller customers. So what's really good is that you can have everything, what do you call it, in one solution.
Yeah.
So you have everything in one solution, and if you think about the business premium license, we have all this advanced security like conditional access and Defender for Office 365, just to name another one, with safe links and safe attachment, and now we have added the value of Defender for Business into the business premium license, just to add. So I would say it's definitely a success, and it's important for partners to understand the value in it, and also, as you mentioned, you need to be in the front line of security and to be able to offer that to your customers, because they're probably going to come and ask about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you settled the thing about safe attachments. You said safe links.
Yeah.
So we are kind of alluding to that perhaps the biggest flaw that you have to, well, not supervise would be the wrong word, but have a look at is kind of a user behavior. Would you say it's in a way
it's
not clicking on links, malicious links, and
exactly. It's to help the users to do the right thing, because I mean we're all human and
absolutely even us.
We even click links. So you need to help them with the different attack vectors that's out there, and clicking a link is very common, sending out phishing emails with malicious links. And what SafeLinks does is to actually check that link in real time, which means that if an attacker would send phishing mails with a link that seems to be okay, so it goes through this spam filter, and when it drops down into the mailbox of the user, then it's activated on the attacker's side, which means that when the user clicks on the link, SafeLinks will actually check that it's nothing malicious on the other side. So it's done in real time, which is very important, because, as I mentioned, it could be activated a few minutes later when it's been delivered to the user.
So we talked about a little partner enablement earlier, and that's take up a lot of your time during the days, right? So if you could give like some sort of recommendations or best practice for a partner that is going to do an assessment together with the end customer, like what is this is your current status today, to make them more aware of security, to assess that sort of their security posture. But what would be? How do you go about? Where do you start?
Well, the icebreaker for a partner with a customer would be Secure Score. That's a very great tool for the partner to help the customer to increase their security level in Microsoft 365. So in Microsoft 365, you can go in and check Secure Score, and you will see the customer's score, and of course you want that high score to be as high as possible. And in Secure Score, you can also you will get recommendations how to increase your security. So, for instance, turn on MFA, multi-factor authentication.
Right.
Talk to many customers that don't have that turn on, and I would say that's the number one thing to do. And how do you know that it's number one thing? Well, if you look in Secure Score, you will also get prioritized what will give you the most score to increase your security score. So you will also get the help to what recommendations do we need to follow to increase the score, but also prioritized, which is one of the things that could be tough both for partners and customers. Where do we start? So it's a great tool to use.
Absolutely. You can visualize it as an end customer. You can visualize, you can see we're only doing 40%.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got work to do.
Yeah.
So it becomes more tangible in that then, and the partner could recommend the next steps.
Exactly. And I would say that's something you continuously do together with customers, because this is an ongoing work or project to do. But that also means that partners could have this as a solution to offer their customers.
Right. So I guess that's it for today.
Okay.
I don't have any further questions, but I will really we so much appreciated to having you on here today.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, Rickard, and I hope we get to have fun like this, some other time as
Yeah,
well.
I would love to be back.
Off camera and on camera,
Yeah.
we'll see about that, with or without the mic.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more episodes from Tech Data, soon to be TD SYNNEX and Tech Break.